There's a moment when someone is scrolling through social media late at night and they see a post that contradicts something they've held true their entire life. Maybe it's about parenting or politics or what makes a relationship healthy. Their chest tightens, their jaw clenches. They feel a surge of anger or confusion that seems way too intense for just reading words on a screen. They want to argue, to correct, to prove the other person wrong. But underneath that reaction is something else. A feeling that if this other perspective is right, then something fundamental about who they are might be wrong. So they scroll past quickly, or they leave a heated comment, or they find 3 articles that confirm what they already believed. The discomfort fades. The world feels solid again. But that moment of threat, that flash of, this can't be true because if it is, then what does that make me? That moment reveals how deeply our belief systems are woven into our sense of safety and identity. This happens more than we realize, not just with big topics like religion or politics, but with everyday beliefs we don't even recognize as beliefs. Beliefs about whether people can change, whether we deserve good things, whether the world is fundamentally safe or dangerous, whether emotions should be controlled or expressed. These aren't just thoughts we can easily swap out like changing clothes. They're the lens through which we see everything. And when something threatens that lens, we don't experience it as, oh, here's a different perspective. We experience it as danger. A woman in her 30s realizes she's been giving the same advice to friends for years. Just set boundaries, but she never actually does it herself. When someone suggests that maybe her belief about always being available is causing her burnout, she feels defensive. A man at work hears feedback that he comes across as dismissive in meetings. His immediate thought is, people are too sensitive now. He believes that directness is efficiency, that feelings don't belong at work. At home, someone's partner says, I need more emotional openness from you. And instead of curiosity, there's shutdown. Because admitting that emotions matter challenges a belief learned early. Maybe that vulnerability is dangerous, or that feelings are manipulative. In the quiet of their own mind, someone notices they keep thinking, I'm not like other people, or I just have to handle everything myself. These aren't random thoughts. They're belief systems running in the background, shaping every interaction, every choice, every reaction to life. Most belief systems start forming before we have language for them. A girl grows up watching her mother apologize constantly, smooth over every conflict, make herself smaller to keep peace. No one sits her down and says, your needs don't matter as much as keeping everyone comfortable. But she learns it anyway. She learns that good people don't make waves, that love means accommodating. By the time she's an adult, this isn't a belief she chose, it's just how reality seems to work. A boy learns that showing fear or sadness brings punishment or mockery. Maybe his father says, toughen up, or boys don't cry, or maybe he just watches how men around him handle difficulty, with silence, with anger, with jokes that deflect. He doesn't decide to believe that emotions are weakness. He absorbs it from 1,000 small moments. By adulthood, this belief feels like truth, like biology, like the way men just are. When his partner says, I need you to share what you're feeling, his body responds with threat. These early belief systems are survival strategies. They helped us navigate the specific environment we grew up in. The problem is that we carry them into completely different environments, into relationships and situations where they no longer serve us, where they actually create the very pain we're trying to avoid. This is where understanding the psychology of belief systems becomes crucial. In Jungian psychology, there's a concept called the shadow, the parts of ourselves we reject or deny because they contradict our conscious beliefs about who we are. Our belief systems determine what goes into the shadow. If you believe I'm a patient person, then your impatience gets pushed into shadow. If you believe I'm independent and don't need anyone, then your dependency needs get relegated to the unconscious. These rejected parts don't disappear. They influence us in ways we don't see. Belief systems are the stories we tell ourselves about reality, about other people, about who we are and how the world works. They act as filters. They determine what information we notice, what we dismiss, what we remember, and what we forget. And most dangerously, they feel invisible to us. We don't think I'm operating from a belief system right now. We think this is just how things are. Right now, in someone's workplace, there's a meeting where two people are having the same conversation they've had 5 times before. One person believes that disagreement means intellectual rigor and respect, that challenging ideas is how you honor someone's intelligence. The other person believes that disagreement means criticism and rejection. Neither of them sees their belief system at work. They both just think the other person is being difficult. In romantic relationships, belief systems create invisible scripts. Someone believes that love means always knowing what your partner needs without them having to ask. So when their partner asks directly for something, it feels like failure, like proof that the connection isn't real. They withdraw or get defensive, and their partner, who believes that love means clear communication, feels shut out and confused. A woman finds herself in another relationship where she's doing all the emotional labor, and she can't figure out why she keeps choosing men who don't meet her halfway. But underneath, there's a belief system running. If I need less, I'm more lovable. If I'm too much, I'll be abandoned. This belief keeps her selecting partners who reinforce it. When she meets someone who actually wants to show up equally, it feels wrong, boring, or like there's no chemistry. With family, someone goes home for the holidays and regresses within hours. The 40-year-old adult becomes the role they played at 15, the responsible one, the funny one, the invisible one, because the family system runs on old belief systems that no one has questioned. Trying to show up differently, trying to break the pattern feels like betraying the family itself. Alone at night, someone lies awake replaying a conversation from 3 days ago, finding all the ways they were wrong, all the evidence that they're inadequate or broken. This is a belief system too, the belief that self-criticism equals self-improvement, that being harsh with yourself keeps you safe from being hurt by others. The cost of unexamined belief systems shows up as chronic tension that has no clear source, as relationships that repeat the same painful patterns with different people, as a feeling of living on autopilot, of saying yes when you mean no and no when you mean yes. It shows up as the gap between who you want to be and who you actually are in moments of stress. It shows up as, "Why do I keep doing this?" asked in the bathroom mirror late at night. But here's where the perspective shifts. Belief systems aren't the enemy. They're not character flaws. They're maps. And every map was drawn in response to the terrain you were navigating at the time. The problem isn't that you have belief systems, it's that you're trying to navigate new terrain with old maps. That defensiveness you feel when someone challenges a core belief, it's information. It's showing you where your identity is most fragile, most tightly wound around a particular story. That discomfort when you consider a different perspective, it's pointing to a place where growth is possible if you can sit with it instead of running from it. The anger that flares up when someone lives differently than your belief system says they should, it's often revealing a rejected part of yourself. If you believe responsible people sacrifice their desires for duty, and you see someone prioritizing their own needs without guilt, that anger might be coming from the part of you that had to learn to suppress your needs. Integration isn't about throwing away all your beliefs and starting from scratch. It's about recognizing them as beliefs rather than absolute truth. It's about getting curious instead of defensive. It's about asking, what is this belief protecting me from? And does this belief still serve me in my current life? Notice when you react. Strongly. This practice helps you catch your belief systems in action by paying attention to disproportionate emotional responses. When you feel defensive, angry, or deeply uncomfortable in response to someone else's words or choices, that intensity is a signal. Throughout your day, notice moments when your emotional reaction seems bigger than the situation warrants. Someone suggests a different approach at work and you feel personally attacked. A friend makes a parenting choice you would never make and you feel judgmental or anxious. In that moment, pause and ask yourself, what belief is underneath this reaction? A woman feels intense irritation every time her coworker talks about therapy. She notices the strength of her reaction and gets curious. When she asks herself what belief is underneath, she realizes, I believe that strong people handle things privately. I believe that if I need help, I've failed. The reaction wasn't really about her coworker. It was her belief system feeling threatened. The difficult part? Your mind will want to justify the reaction, to prove that your belief is correct. The practice is to notice that defensiveness too, and stay curious anyway. Write the belief and its origin. This practice creates space between you and your belief systems by making them explicit. Beliefs that live only in your mind feel like truth. Beliefs written on paper become something you can examine. Choose a belief you've identified. Write it clearly. I believe that asking for help means I'm weak. Or, I believe that good people always put others first. Then write, I learned this belief when, and let yourself remember the moments, messages, and experiences that built this belief. A man writes, I believe that showing vulnerability will be used against me. Then he writes about watching his father share a fear with his mother and how she brought it up sarcastically during an argument later. He writes about being mocked by friends in high school when he cried. As he writes, he sees that this belief made perfect sense in those contexts. It kept him safe. And recognizing that creates space to ask, is my current environment the same? Do I still need this? Protection? Set one small contrary boundary. This practice tests your belief systems in low-stakes situations by doing the exact opposite of what the belief says you should do. If you believe I can't disappoint people, the practice is to disappoint someone small and safe and see what actually happens. Choose a belief that's causing you problems and identify one small action that goes against it. If you believe you should always be available, text back, I can't talk right now, instead of immediately responding. If you believe good partners never want space, tell your partner you need an hour alone without explanation. A woman who believes if I say no, people will think I'm selfish, gets invited to a friend's birthday dinner on a night when she's exhausted. Instead of forcing herself to go, she texts, I can't make it tonight, but I hope you have an amazing time. No elaborate excuse, just a clear, simple no. Then she sits with the discomfort. Her belief system is screaming that her friend will be hurt, will stop inviting her. The next day, her friend texts, no worries, let's grab coffee next week, and her belief system starts to crack just slightly. Sit in solitude without distraction. This practice reveals which beliefs you're using to avoid yourself. Many belief systems are maintained by staying busy, staying connected, staying distracted. Set aside 15 to 30 minutes when you're alone. No phone, no music, no podcast, no book. Just sit. Notice what thoughts arise. Notice what feelings come up. Notice what beliefs surface in the quiet. A man sits down for this practice and within 3 minutes feels intensely uncomfortable. His mind says, this is pointless. I should be doing something productive. He notices that belief. My worth comes from productivity. Stillness is wasting time. He stays sitting. Anxiety rises. Under the anxiety is a fear. If I stop doing, who am I? The belief system that keeps him constantly busy is protecting him from that question. Practice the tell me more response. This practice loosens rigid belief systems by replacing defensiveness with curiosity. When someone expresses a perspective that contradicts your beliefs, instead of arguing or shutting down, say, tell me more about that, and actually listen. When someone says something that triggers your that's wrong reaction, pause. Take a breath. Say, I see it differently, but I'm curious. Tell me more about why you see it that way. A woman who believes emotions should be controlled in professional settings is in a meeting where a colleague starts crying while discussing a stressful project. Her automatic belief is, this is inappropriate. She notices the judgment and chooses differently. After the meeting, she approaches the colleague and says, tell me more about what's going on. As she listens, she hears about impossible deadlines, about feeling unsupported. Her rigid belief softens just slightly. Talk to the younger part who learned the belief. This practice creates compassion by acknowledging that your belief systems were formed by a younger version of you who was doing their best to survive. Picture yourself at the age when you first learned a belief that's now limiting you. In your imagination or on paper, talk to that younger version of you. Tell them, I see why you learned this. It made sense. It kept you safe. Thank you for protecting us. Then tell them, we're not in that situation anymore. I'm taking care of us now. A woman pictures herself at 8 years old when her parents divorced and she became the mediator. She learned then, my job is to manage everyone's emotions. She talks to that 8-year-old. I see you trying so hard to hold everything together. You did an incredible job, but you're not responsible for that anymore. I'm the adult now, and I can handle conflict. You can rest. As she does this, something in her chest releases slightly. Over time, this work changes how you move through the world. Not dramatically, not perfectly, but noticeably. You start catching yourself in the middle of a defensive reaction, and you pause. You recognize, oh, that's my belief system about failure being shameful, or that's my belief system about emotions being dangerous. And in that recognition, you have a choice. You start noticing the cost of certain beliefs more clearly. You see how the belief that I have to handle everything alone is creating exhaustion and distance. You see how the belief that people can't change is keeping you stuck. And because you can see the belief as a belief rather than as truth, you can experiment with loosening it. Relationships begin to shift. Some people feel threatened when you start questioning beliefs that your relationship was built on. Some connections will deepen because there's more honesty, more room for complexity. Some will fade because they only worked when you were playing a role. You develop more ease with uncertainty. Rigid belief systems promise certainty. They give you clear rules for how things are and should be. Loosening them means living with more, I don't know, and maybe, and it's complicated. That's uncomfortable at first, but it's also freedom. You notice you're less judgmental of other people because you're starting to see that everyone is operating from their own belief systems, learned in their own specific contexts. That person who seems so rigid, they're running old protection software. That person who seems so chaotic, they're trying to break free of beliefs that were suffocating them. What changes most fundamentally is your relationship with yourself. You start to see that you're not your beliefs. You're the awareness that can observe them. You're the space in which beliefs arise and shift and sometimes dissolve. That awareness creates a kind of internal freedom that nothing external can give you. Remember that moment from the beginning, scrolling late at night, chest tight, confronting information that challenges a core belief? You can return to that moment now and see it differently. That discomfort isn't a sign that something is wrong with you or with the other person. It's a sign that you're bumping up against the edges of your map. And edges are where growth happens. Your belief systems aren't enemies to defeat. They're protective structures built by younger versions of you, and they deserve respect for the function they served. Now the work is to bring them into consciousness, to thank them, and to gently, gradually update them to reflect the life you're actually living now. This is inner work in its truest form, not dramatic breakthroughs that fix everything overnight, just daily moments of noticing, questioning, choosing differently in small ways, just sitting with discomfort instead of running from it. Small practices, repeated, create new patterns, and new patterns over time reshape your entire experience of being alive. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, subscribe for more explorations of psychology and personal growth. And I'm curious, which belief system from your past do you notice most clearly in your life today? Share in the comments below.